Everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do.
Sophie's story starts before Indiana. She made her name at Missouri, carving out a reputation as tough, fearless, and vocal. By the time Phoenix picked her in the second round of the 2019 draft, fans already knew what she brought: fire. Cunningham wasn't the tallest, the fastest, or the flashiest, but she was relentless. In Phoenix, she earned the nickname Scorpion for the way she played: stingy defense, never backing down, and a willingness to scrap for every loose ball. That attitude made her a fan favorite, but it also made her polarizing. Opponents hated playing against her. She'd get under your skin, smile while doing it, and never apologize. Fast forward to 2025, and Cunningham was traded to the Indiana Fever. For a franchise already buzzing with Caitlin Clark, adding Sophie wasn't just about basketball, it was about culture. She brought edge, she brought attitude, she brought accountability, and right away she wasn't afraid to speak on things others avoided.
Just the competitor that I am. I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself, and so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and to be yourself.
That turned out to be an understatement. Then came the heartbreak. In August 2025, during a game against Connecticut, Cunningham collided with Bria Hartley and went down hard. The result? A torn MCL in her right knee. Season over. For the Fever, losing her meant losing not just scoring and defense, but leadership. For Sophie, it meant months of grueling rehab instead of game action. And here's the irony. Her injury highlighted one of her biggest frustrations with the league: officiating and protection. Her family and friends were quick to point out that she hadn't been given enough protection from refs. That plays like hers, physical, scrappy, tough, often get punished when she commits, but ignored when she's on the receiving end. The MCL tear wasn't just bad luck. To her supporters, it was proof that the league's officiating was inconsistent, sometimes dangerous. And even while rehabbing, Sophie kept her voice alive.
I mean, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way.
That voice cost her. A TikTok here, a podcast comment there, and suddenly the league was handing out fines like candy. One of the most famous, Sophie posted a TikTok where she lip-synced to a lyric, tagged at some refs. That's all it took for a $500 fine. No cursing, no direct attack, just a joke with a sharp edge. Then came another fine for comments she made about Paige Bueckers on her podcast. Sophie herself said, "They didn't like my comment. I didn't even say anything bad." But the WNBA wasn't laughing. And that's the pattern. Cunningham speaks, league punishes. She pushes, they push back. Over time, fines piled up. Not massive amounts, but enough to send a message: tone it down. Except Sophie doesn't tone it down. Angel Reese, rookie, social media magnet, walking headline. She criticized her own Chicago Sky roster, saying the team needed better players if it wanted to compete. Bold, maybe careless, but undeniably public. And Sophie wasn't having it. On her podcast, she hit back. She said some things belong inside the locker room, not in interviews. That real leadership means protecting teammates, not throwing them under the bus. For Reese, it was business as usual. Controversy follows her. But for Sophie, it was a chance to stand for something bigger: accountability. She made it clear that words matter, that teams fracture when players prioritize attention over unity. The clash wasn't just Reese versus Cunningham, it was two philosophies colliding: brand first versus team first, and the league couldn't ignore it.
Look, you go down into the trees and things happen, and Kiki Ariafin right there had an extra little shove, and she's just like, what I do? Well, you kind of grow up, and then Sophie Cunningham pops right up and has a lot to say.
So why is the league struggling with Sophie in particular? Because she's not polished PR. She's not a cookie-cutter star who says one game at a time. She's raw, honest, sometimes messy. When she talks about refs, she says what fans are already thinking. When she critiques a player, she frames it as loyalty to the team. And when she jokes online, she shows personality in a league that desperately needs it. But instead of celebrating that, the WNBA fines her. Instead of protecting her when she's hurt, they stay quiet. Instead of amplifying her message, they try to contain it. And that's exactly why the control is slipping. Because once fans see a league silencing authentic voices, they start to question what else is being hidden. Think about the NBA for a second. Draymond Green has built a career on saying whatever comes to mind. Charles Barkley before him did the same. Did the league fine them sometimes? Sure. But did they also market them as personalities? Absolutely. But the WNBA hasn't learned that lesson yet. Instead of leaning into Cunningham's firebrand persona, they treat it as a liability. That difference matters. Because the NBA turned controversy into ratings, the WNBA risks turning controversy into resentment. And Sophie isn't alone. Other players, Liz Cambage, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Even veterans like Diana Taurasi have clashed with the league or refs over honesty. But Cunningham is different because she's not a superstar with an MVP resume. She's a grinder, a role player, a voice from the middle tier, and that makes her even more dangerous because when mid-tier players start speaking like stars, leagues can't just shrug it off.
Mabry. That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard foul. You could say it's a play on the ball, but...
What makes this year so brutal is the timing. Cunningham's injury means she's off the court, yet her voice is louder than ever. Instead of fading while rehabbing, she's on podcasts, in headlines sparking debate. The league can't control the narrative because Sophie controls it herself. That TikTok fine, fans laughed and reposted it. The comments, headlines everywhere. The injury, fans blamed refs, not Sophie. In every case, the WNBA tried to tighten the leash, and in every case, Sophie's reach grew. That's what losing control looks like. So what does all this say about the WNBA? It shows a league torn between growth and control. They want bold stars who bring attention, but only if those stars say the right things. They want viral content, but only if it flatters the brand. And Sophie Cunningham refuses to play that game. She shows the cracks in the system, the officiating inconsistencies, the punishments for personality, the fear of controversy. The league's fines didn't silence her, they amplified her. The injury didn't sideline her voice, it sharpened it. The clash with Reese didn't divide fans, it made them pick sides. That's not control. That's chaos.
During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so, at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do, and I'm a team player, so it's all good.
Fans are split, and that's what makes Sophie such a fascinating figure. Indiana Fever supporters adore her toughness. She's the one who stands up when Caitlin Clark gets targeted, the one who claps back when rivals run their mouths. To them, she's not just a role player, she's a protector. But to rival fans, she's the villain. The one you boo loudly, the one you call dirty or extra. And yet, those same fans tune in just to see what she'll do next. Love her or hate her, they're watching. And that's the part the WNBA doesn't seem to understand. Controversial voices draw eyeballs. Every word Sophie says becomes a headline. A small comment on her podcast, instantly clipped and shared, a TikTok joke, suddenly national news. She doesn't have to be the leading scorer or the MVP candidate. She dominates conversations because media outlets know her name generates clicks. And here's the irony, the league fines her to control the message, but those fines only amplify it. Mainstream outlets and independent bloggers alike feast on the drama. The more the WNBA tries to bury Sophie's voice, the bigger it grows.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I am someone who says what everyone else is thinking or talking about. Not just with the refs,
Did you post
but
that
with
after
Detroit,
after you guys lost?
with Cleveland. I want people to hear what I just said. I am the only one, but if you ask our league, they feel the same exact way.
The league feels the same way about the refs as you?
And Detroit and
Oh.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
And
Do
so
you want to
now,
give it one more shot?
no, because
Okay.
I said what I had to say.
Dude, go on.
And I'm not going to apologize because I fully believe that. Don't tell me that Detroit is more fun than Nashville.
This is where the league truly lost control. Sophie doesn't need the WNBA's platform anymore. She has her own. TikTok, podcasts, Instagram. She speaks directly to fans, unfiltered, unedited, on her own terms. In 2025, that's more powerful than any press conference. Fans don't want canned answers. They want authenticity. Sophie gives them that, raw and real. And every time she posts, she bypasses the league completely. The control the WNBA once had, through official statements, through selective highlights, doesn't exist anymore. Social media made that impossible. Sophie just happens to be one of the best at using it. Look at how other leagues handle outspoken personalities. The NBA didn't silence Charles Barkley when he was tearing into opponents, and even the league itself. They built inside the NBA around him. Draymond Green, he's been suspended plenty of times, but the league still markets him as a face of intensity and toughness. The WNBA, though. Instead of leaning into Sophie Cunningham's fiery image, they treat it like a liability. That's where they're falling behind. Because controversy doesn't have to hurt a league, it can fuel it. If handled right, Sophie could be one of the NBA's biggest assets, not its biggest headache.
And I get it because if I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you like bugged out?
All of them.
Just everything?
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're gonna be fouling the shit out of me,
Yeah.
cool. But let me do it to
Didn't
you.
let you, yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
want
Like,
consistency then.
yeah, like just give, and I think that's players across the league and like new fans across the country. Like everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do shit.
Inside Indiana, Sophie's role is clear. She may not be the team's top scorer, but she's one of its loudest leaders. Teammates respect her because she'll say the uncomfortable things others won't. She defends them on the floor, backs them off it, and calls out problems even when it costs her. And that's the type of presence every locker room needs. Someone who isn't afraid to be the enforcer, the voice of accountability, the one who says, this isn't good enough. Some stars earn respect through stats. Sophie earns it through honesty. But here's the danger. If the league keeps treating her like a problem, it risks sending the message that players who speak up for teammates will be punished. That corrodes trust, not just with Sophie, but across every locker room. And that brings us to the bigger picture. The WNBA loves to market itself as a league of empowerment, a place where women can be bold, unapologetic, and strong. But when Sophie Cunningham lives that truth, the league finds her. That contradiction doesn't go unnoticed. Fans see it, media sees it, and players absolutely see it. Losing control of Sophie isn't just about one outspoken guard in Indiana. It's about the risk of alienating an entire generation of players who want to use their voices. If the WNBA silences them, it risks looking hypocritical. If it embraces them, it risks controversy. Either way, the league is at a crossroads. Sophie Cunningham's story isn't just about an MCL tear, a TikTok fine, or a few spicy podcast comments. It's about a league that can't decide whether it wants control or authenticity. The truth is, the WNBA already lost control. Sophie doesn't need their approval. She has her fans, her platforms, her voice. And once a player proves she can't be muted, she sets a precedent others will follow. So what do you think? Did Sophie Cunningham cross the line? Or is the WNBA punishing her for being the one thing it claims to value? Authentic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next chapter in this drama. Because something tells me Sophie isn't going silent anytime soon.